The Emirates had been whispering it for weeks. From the shady corners of online forums to those self-proclaimed ITKs in the know on X who've been wrong more times than Spurs in a title race, the rumours wouldn't die. But now, it's official. Sky Sports, the grand oracle of British football media, has confirmed it. Viktor Gyökeres is an Arsenal player. Yes, you read that right. The man who bulldozed through defences in Portugal like a tank dipped in Viking blood is now wearing red, the North London shade of red, mind you. And it's no loan, no option to buy if it rains on Thursdays, no £3.50 plus add-ons. This is a proper Arsenal signing, bold, expensive, and very likely to set X ablaze by tea time. But how did we get here? Let's rewind. It all began with murmurs from Lisbon. Gyokeres, who had been on a warpath through the Primeira Liga with Sporting CP, was attracting attention from Europe's biggest clubs. A player who combined the brute force of a rhino with the instinct of a fox in the box, the kind of striker that Arsenal fans hadn't seen in years. He wasn't just scoring goals, he was terrorizing defences. And when the January window closed without him moving, most assumed Sporting had done the usual, slap a €100 million price tag on him and dared someone to blink. And blink Arsenal did. Hard. Fast forward to the summer. Arsenal had just finished a season where they pushed Manchester City to the edge again. Mikel Arteta, in a recent interview, even joked that he was considering black magic to beat Guardiola. And who could blame him? They were so close, yet not enough. The fans wanted a response. A big one. Something that screamed, "We're not bottling it this time." Enter Edu Gaspar, sleeves rolled up, phone fully charged. Arsenal had money to spend, responsibly, of course, because financial fair play is a thing, and they needed firepower. Why Gyokeres? Simple. Arsenal had spent the last 2 seasons balancing on a tightrope. Gabriel Jesus, a player whose work rate could make a hamster blush, lacked the clinical edge. Edin Nketiah, while an Arsenal lad through and through, never truly convinced as the main man. Kai Havertz up front? That experiment had all the consistency of British summer. So when scouts watched Viktor Gyökeres against Porto and saw him blast through 3 defenders and score from an angle that made geometry teachers weep, they took notice. Here was a striker who didn't need 19 touches to shoot, who didn't cut back 7 times to find the perfect angle, who didn't look for the pass when 1v1. No, Gyokeres was different. And so, the deal was struck. €75 million, plus bonuses, reportedly including one for every nutmeg he delivers to Tottenham defenders. A massive fee? Yes, but this is Arsenal. If you're going to splash the cash, might as well do it on a guy who looks like he was bred to score goals and fight bays. Package arrival and reactions. The announcement video was peak Arsenal, dramatic music, slow camera pans, and Gyokeres walking through a hallway like he was entering the final boss room in a video game. He said all the right things, childhood dreams, Premier League passion, and admiration for the project. That word again. Social media exploded. Arsenal Twitter split into 3 camps. The Gas Brigade, already making edits of Gyokeres scoring the winner at the Etihad. The skeptics, but has only done it in Portugal. Mate, can he do it on a cold night in Luton? The banter merchants, making memes of him bodying Harry Maguire before even kicking a ball. Mikel Arteta, always calm and monotone like his teaching yoga on the side, gave his usual cryptic praise. Viktor is a player who brings a different dimension to our attacking line. He aligns with our principles and values. Translation: we finally got a proper striker, lads. Inside the club, there was genuine excitement. Training ground sources described Gyokeres as a monster, a man possessed, and, according to Ben White, a bit of a psycho, but in a good way. Even Declan Rice, who usually gives off golden retriever energy, was reportedly seen fist-bumping Gyokeres so hard it echoed through London Coney. The tactical impact. Arsenal aren't just buying goals, they are buying flexibility. Arteta has been craving a striker who can press aggressively, hold the ball, bully defenders, and still finish with plum. That's not Jesus. That's not Nketiah. That's not Havertz pretending to be Drogba on weekends. Gyokeres, however, ticks all those boxes. Picture this: Martin Degarde dancing between lines, Soccer stretching the right flank, Martinelli darting like a caffeinated squirrel down the left, and Gyokeres dead center, occupying two centre-backs and still having the audacity to shoot from 25 yards. It's chaos. It's beautiful. It's very you and Arsenal, in the best way. Last season, Arsenal often dominated matches but lacked ruthlessness. Against low blocks, they passed teams to death, but sometimes forgot to kill the game. Gyokeres is not a man who forgets to kill the game. In fact, he prefers to make sure it's dead, buried, and the coffin is nailed shut. And there's the psychological effect. For too long, Arsenal have been labelled soft. Pretty to watch, easy to bully. Now, you've got a Viking leading the line. Opposing defenders won't just need shin pads, they'll need emotional support animals. Moneybag, was it worth it? 75 million euros isn't pocket change. Arsenal fans have seen this movie before. Spend big, get excited, and then wonder why the player can't do it in Stoke. But this feels different. Gyokeres isn't just another shiny toy. He's a striker in his prime, physically dominant, mentally ferocious, and technically sound. The stats don't lie. 43 goal contributions last season, including several absolute screamers. And this isn't the case of a player padding stats against amateurs. Portuguese football is no joke. Ask Manchester United how easy it is to face Sporting. Yes, there's risk. Yes, adaptation is never guaranteed. But name one great signing that didn't come with doubt. Henry had doubters. Van Persie was injury-prone. Even Bergkamp was considered a flop at Inter. You take the risk for the reward. And if the reward is a Premier League title, well, there won't be many complaints. Eyes what's next for Arsenal. The Gyokeres signing sends a message. Arsenal mean business. They are not happy finishing second. They are not content with progress. They want trophies. And this summer might not be over. Rumours persist about a midfielder coming in. Some say Zubimendi is on standby. Others whisper about a winger to rotate with Martinelli. Either way, Arsenal have set the tone, and the Premier League should be on alert. As for the man himself, Gyokeres is already making himself at home. He has been spotted in London cafes, reportedly confusing oat milk with mashed potatoes, true Scandinavian behavior. He's got the Arsenal training kit on, the photo shoot done, and is already terrifying Rob Holding in training drills. Life moves fast. Calendar the debut awaits. With pre-season around the corner, all eyes are on Viktor. Will he start against Bayern in the Emirates Cup? Will he score 5 in his debut like a Viking Erling Haaland tribute act? Too soon to say. But one thing's for sure, the Arsenal fan base is united in anticipation. Because for the first time in years, they've got something they haven't had since peak Aubameyang. A proper number 9. And not just any 9, a Gyokeres 9. With tattoos, attitude, and a jawline that could cut glass. So buckle up, Gooness. The Viktor era has begun. Whether it ends in glory or glorious chaos, one thing is certain, it won't be boring. And so, amidst virtual applause, highlight reels with dramatic music, and completely unhinged comparisons to Alan Shearer, the Emirates welcomes Viktor Gyökeres. A striker who truly needs no introduction, but gets one anyway, because this is Arsenal, and we narrate everything, even warm-ups, like it's Wagner's final act. The fans are already fine-tuning their chants. In the North Bank, a group of hopefuls has begun rehearsing something that rhymes Gyokeres with wreck the rest. Over in the East Stand, someone has ordered a banner with a Swedish flag, though it's Swedish by passport, but Icelandic by Viking spirit. Doesn't matter. If you played for Coventry and ended up dominating Portugal like it was a personal vendetta, you're a Nordic legend in all dialects. And the question on everyone's lips right now is this: how exactly does this guy play? Well, forget the elegant glide of Thierry Henry or the silky ballet of Dennis Bergkamp. Gyokeres isn't here to paint a picture. He's here to knock the damn wall down. He's the kind of striker that, when he charges at you, you start remembering if you paid your health insurance. When he receives the ball, it's not with silk gloves. It's with a controlled aggression of someone delivering a package marked fragile by drop-kicking it onto the porch. It's not that he lacks technique. Far from it. We saw in Portugal how defenders from Braga to Benfica learned the hard way that giving him space to turn is a tactical crime. His first touch isn't about finesse, it's about function. He doesn't caress the ball, he tames it. And his shot? Let's just say, if he smashes a ball with his left foot in North London, there's a real chance a seagull explodes in Brighton. But don't expect flair for flair's sake. He's not out here rainbow flicking just because a camera's on. He's more of a, either let me through, or you're coming with me kind of forward. Left pointing magnifying glass inside the deal. What Sky didn't tell you. Sure, Sky Sport gave you the headline. But what about the backroom chaos? According to sources close to the club, read, journalists living on 7 coffees and constant Twitter refresh, the deal was finalized in a late-night session between Edu and Sporting's board. The Portuguese side knew they couldn't hold him, not when the player had already given Arteta the green light, and his agent was more excited than a YouTuber with early access to FIFA 26. The contract? Long-term. 5 years, with an option for a 6th. His salary? Let's just say it puts him up there with the top owners, just below Soccer, Degaard, and Rice. But what's most intriguing is a detail in the deal. Arsenal included performance-based clauses that are very specific. From goals per season, to Champions League knockout impacts, to, allegedly, bonuses for goals scored against Tottenham. Real ones. It tells you one thing. Arteta wants him now, but he also wants him in May, next year, and beyond. Which brings us to Mikel himself. Microphone hashed the project, the principles, and Arteta's infamous PowerPoint. It's become a meme at this point, the now iconic Arteta presentation. But internally, it's no joke. Every new signing sits through a meeting where Mikel lays out, frame by frame, how they fit into the system. Not just tactically, philosophically. With Gyokeres, the rumor mill, and one very eager leaker, claims that his presentation included clips of Holland, Drogba, and Batistuta under the title, "This is where you come in." The coaching staff sees Viktor not just as a goalscorer, but as a system unlocker. Arsenal already has a movement, the technique, the build-up, but in crucial moments last season, they lacked ruthlessness. They needed someone who doesn't think twice, someone who doesn't wait for the perfect angle, someone who looks at defenders like they are temporary inconveniences, not obstacles. Gyokeres gets that. He's not here to slowly adapt or learn from the senior players. He's here to start, to score, to compete, to chase every loose ball like it insulted his family. He's not about patience, he's about presence. He doesn't announce himself with words, but with actions, with elbows, with headers, with goals. And that's exactly what Arsenal needed. He doesn't need to raise his voice in the dressing room. He doesn't need to post cryptic Instagram stories or show off custom-designed boots with motivational slogans. Gyokeres speaks a language of movement, short, powerful sprints, shoulder drops that send defenders off balance, and a stare that suggests he's already envisioned the net bulging 5 seconds before the ball leaves his foot. There's a simplicity to him that feels oddly terrifying. He's not here to entertain. He's here to end things. Attacks, matches, title droughts, if all goes to plan. That's not to say he's some mindless battering ram. Quite the opposite. His intelligence in the final third is what truly unnerves defenders. He doesn't just charge. He waits, lurks, assesses. A centre-back might feel safe for 85 minutes, and then one slip, one half-yard, and it's done. The shot's away. The goal's celebrated. The stare to the away fans already halfway through. And there's something else. Too, his physical presence isn't just useful for himself. It elevates everyone around him. Suddenly, Soccer isn't the only magnet for 2 defenders. Suddenly, Degaard has more passing angles. Martinelli can stop trying to beat 3 men on the wing, because Viktor's dragging one of them into midfield. Think of it this way. Viktor is a kind of striker who doesn't just score goals. He creates space by terrifying people. Opposing managers will now have to plan differently for Arsenal. Do they sit deep and risk letting him receive with his back to goal on the edge of the box? Do they step up and risk the running behind? Do they try to outmuscle him? Bold move. One that might end with their centre-back flying into row Z after shoulder-to-shoulder. And he doesn't let up. Ask anyone who's played against him. There's no such thing as quiet minutes with Gyokeres. He'll chase back 40 yards just to win a throw-in. He'll pressure a goalkeeper even if the ball's rolling out for a goal kick. He'll contest a header like he's in a Nordic myth, and the ball is the final dragon egg. This relentlessness is something Arsenal haven't had in years. Even in their title-challenging era last season, you always felt there was a moment, just a brief one, where a defender could reset, could breathe. Not anymore. Not with Viktor in town. And it's not just opponents who feel it. His own teammates feed off that energy. In training, it's contagious. The fitness staff are already adjusting their drills. You can't run a session at 70% intensity if your new striker is sprinting like he's chasing the last train out of Mortar. Even Zinchenko, who prides himself on being the heartbeat of the team, reportedly told a member of the coaching staff, he doesn't slow down. Ever. It's like he's doing punishment laps, but is smiling. It's no surprise, then, that Gyokeres doesn't consider tiredness a valid excuse. In past interviews, the rare, dry Swedish kind where every word feels like it's been carefully filtered through ice, he's dismissed fatigue as something you deal with after the game. And Arsenal love that. This isn't just a player with stats and muscle mass. This is a player who aligns with Arteta's obsession with non-negotiables. Work rate, attitude, mentality. Gyokeres didn't arrive with a flashy entourage or film a music video on the tarmac of Heathrow. He showed up with boots, questions about training, and reportedly asked if there was a gym open that night. It's not for show. It's not branding. It's just who he is.